Hi everyone, this is Shadrack Amwana and I welcome you again to this tutorial in machine learning. More especially those of you who were with me in Android development last time. So I welcome you again. But for newcomers, you are welcome as well. So today, I just want to give you a taste of what machine learning is like. So what we're going to do today, we're going to dive into machine learning codes. We are going to go straight to what machine learning is. So I will not do much on theory today. I'll do it next week. I just want to give you a taste of what machine learning is like. So without wasting much time, let's dive in. So this is an introduction to machine learning, and I have a question which we are going to do today. So the question goes, imagine that there is an organization that wants to study activities that people of ages ranging from 1 to 20 like doing. This organization did not manage to collect data for all ages. It only has data for 7 ages like this. So here we can see that a child with only an year old likes sleeping, 4 years likes playing, 7 years likes cartoons, 11 years likes games, 15 years likes reading, 17 years loves sports, and 19 years likes movies. So if you can see the list of data here, you can see that we only have 7 ages and they are not that random. So from let's say from first year to 4 years, we have skipped 2 years, and from 4 to 7, I think there are also 2 missing. So we can say they are that random. And from 17 to 19, there's 18 years old missing. So let's say you are given a task to predict what a 18-year-old person loves. Can you say the person loves movies or sports? So that can be a challenge to us to determine what an 18-year-old loves doing. So let's go see what the question says. The question says, from the data presented, can you make a program that can allow the organization to know what all ages from 1 to 20 like doing? So just as I gave an example that it's very tough to know what an 18-year-old loves doing because the data is not even. So you as a data scientist and an engineer, so what can you do? So what we have to do first is to summarize the data in an XML file so that our model, you know our model later, but I do describe a model as a brain in which we do raw data. Now, since we're given the data, so we need to summarize it. And if we can save the data, we can see that we have 2 categories, which is the age and activity. So here we're going to put the ages, and here it's going to be activities. Now for the first year, we can see that we love sleeping. For the 4th years, it's praying. 7, it's cartoons. 11, it's what is it? It's games. 15, it's reading. 17, it's sports. And 19 is movies. So to save this data, we need to go to the file and save as. We are going to save in the desktop. So on where you're going to save, it depends on where your Jupyter file is. So you're supposed to save where your Jupyter file is. For me, my Jupyter file is on desktop, so I'm going to save it on desktop. So here I'm going to call this information. Okay, information. And here it's supposed to be CSV, so it's supposed to be CSV Macintosh. So CSV Macintosh here. When you click save here, so it already exists. So yes, so this is the part of categorizing the edges and activities so that the data has to be able to be ready. Now this is our workaround, and we are going to start by importing the pandas as pn. So this will help us to load data into our model so that we can be able to read and display. So it's written as import pandas and as pd. So the data which is going to be read from the CSV file will be stored in this info value or variable. So to import it, we do write pd.read/csv, and don't forget that we saved our file as information, so that's why I have written information.csv. And now you can see here that we have loaded the data and we are able to read it. So let me do it. So now we need to split the data so that it has to be easy to be read by a model. So just as we did categorize the data, so we're going to split the data into activity and edges. So to spread, so we're going to start by taking the activity column. So hence I have written activity.info. Activity is equal to info, and in the square brackets I have put activity. So here something is wrong. Let me see. Okay, something seems to be wrong. Okay, if you may remember, in the that Excel file, it's written activities. So here we're also supposed to put activities. So now you can see that we have previous data. Now we have obtained the activity values, which is lay, play, and relax. So now we're going to get the edges. Now to get the edges, we're going to drop the activity. So we're going to use info.drop. So this variable does drop the activities. So here we're going to put columns is equal to activity, because we are dropping the activity. We are going to remain with the edges only, since the activities will be dropped. Now if I may put edges here, you see that I'm remaining with the activities, I mean the edges only. So the activities are dropped. So that's how we do drop a column in Jupyter. Now there's a need to create a model, but before do that we have to import a library. So we're going to use sklearn.tree import decision tree classifier. So from the supervised machine learning model, you may remember that we have regression and classifiers. So this one is a classifier. That's why we're importing decision tree classifier. And here we're going to store the decision tree classifier in the model variable. And I'm going to feed the activities and the edges. This is a matter of telling the computer or the model that we do expect these values. Like once we enter the edge, we do expect you to come up with an activity. So that's what we're telling the model here. So this is creating a model. It's more like a training a model, and here we are creating a model. So in classifiers, it's very easy to create our model than in regression. Okay. So if we want to predict the results, we do use the word predict. So we're going to say model.predict, and here remember to put the two square brackets, and here we have put 18 since that's the value we want to predict. Like if a person is 18 years old, what does he love or what does she love? So hence we have put 18 and reading this as test. So you can see here that an 18-year-old loves sports. Let's try another number, 13. So a 13-year-old loves games. Okay, another number, let it be 8. So an 8-year-old loves cartoons. So we want to save our model. To do that, we use an import or a library called joblib. So instead of recreating the same model now and again, we can just create one and store it in our computer. Then this model can be easily transmitted from one computer to another. Like you can use it in different softwares like Android, desktops, and even Arduino. So we use joblib to save our model and store it. So we're going to call joblib dot dump. So it has to be joblib dot dump, and open bracket, we're going to call our model, and this is the name of what we want our model to be. So it will going to be saved where this Jupyter file is. So let's try print success. So this will tell us if the creation or the storing of the model is successful or not. So it's a success. That means our model is on the desktop for me, since that's where my Jupyter file is. So we have to delete all this and see if we have already installed our model. If you're not sure, you can just go to where this Jupyter file is your views and check if there's that model. So to load the model, we use joblib again. So we say joblib.load, and we are going to call for the name of the model. So joblib dot load. So I'll store this joblib file in a model. So I've just called it model. So we call it brain dot joblib. So we are calling that model. So let's try to predict. So we're going to say model dot predict and put a value here. So let's try 2. We have to store it somewhere. Oh, just print. Let's print. Okay, let's just store it in a test. Okay, test. You can see that it's given us a correct value, so it's able to predict. Here, let's change to, let's make it 5, and here you can see that it says brain. So it's working the very same way as we could do with that code.